I don't know why this is brought up to me, but I mean, I guess I can talk about it as I'm actually doing it. So the title of the video should be self-evident. I trust you enough to look at that. Actually, I'm hitting quick play anyway. But a Thotu Knight Errant quick character exclusive Ayaka, so we'll keep that in mind. Hopefully I don't forget. Let me just repeat it so I don't mess up, and then I can talk about why this video is... I had something entirely different planned until my plan swerved because this happened. So, Knight Errant, Harbinger, and yeah, we'll set item statistics on, and I guess we'll play 2 or 3 runs with this. 2 or 3 runs is by far not the amount I would want, but for the sake of your time, mostly your time, because my time is my time, and you know, I don't... As long as I'm doing something well, it's fine. But as we get into a Thotu Knight Errant character exclusive random item statistics Ayaka, yeah, so this video was brought up to me, or this, a question was brought up to me, and I decided to make a video about it. So, second, light, Takshi, dexterity, strength. Because people were wondering about the program, I guess, inserting, quality of life things, which would be nice. But if a developer, you know, decides not to do certain things here and there, not just that, then, I mean, I usually roll with the punches. Of course, if the developer or anyone really punches me in the face, then of course my, my opinions are going to change, but in this case, it's not really that harmful, because so far, I mean, yes, it is one piece of evidence that gets added to whatever shelf you decide to put this in. But, oh, let me fix my mic. Okay, now I do sound a little off. I was fixing my setup before this as well, but, I mean, yeah, would I do it as a developer? Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm going to control what other people do, unless, of course, it kills the game for some reason. But, I mean, I don't really think much of it at this point. So, scissors, footage, mermaids, botanist, flood. So, would it be nice to be having a button? No, but you can still kind of replicate the same thing by hitting quick play, remembering what settings you did, and then doing random item statistics. So, yeah, scissors, footage, I need to remember again, because I was doing things. Insmasu hallucinations. Alright, for now, until I get 3 stacks of hallucinations, but we'll deal. And yeah, if nothing else, I have contingency plans set up, so yeah. I'll leave it at that. You know, for many things, really. I always like to try and be prepared, even though I'm not the best at preparing, in certain aspects as well, so... Hopefully, things work out well. If not, I mean, I'm doing the best I can. So we'll take the heavy-duty flashlight. Heavy-duty flashlight. My voice has been dying the past week because I've been doing things. So, yeah, we'll visit the History Club, right? And, yep, we're taking Ghostly Spear, and we're moving on. Before that, though, school... Because I think I have scissors as well, so we have Seaside on top of that, but... I would rather do this now in case I need to go into... I do have scissors, right? I'm not going crazy. We have flood as well, so if I have to visit the school in there... because if we take scissors and flood back to back, we won't have access to the police station, so... A katana would be nice, but otherwise, yeah, we're not losing our empty bottle. In before we lose our bath, but it's fine for now. And we'll visit the mansion twice. Visit the mansion twice. I need to not forget about that. I'm not the best at multitasking, if you've ever noticed on this channel. Even talking and trying to keep the game focused, I don't do my best. So yeah, and for other people who are like, "What? But that is amazing." I mean, yeah, it's a skill, but how good you are in the skill, I mean, I would highly suggest you try practicing it. If nothing else, just try speaking your thoughts out loud as you play the game. But, Anyway, I moved kind of from the tangent in this video because I really just wanted to talk about more, I guess, not like design or development of World of Horror specifically, but decisions that may go into focusing on things here and there, and I guess how busy someone or some people might be. Not just indie devs who are working on their own or in a small group, but also oh, that's right. We're on Knight Errant, but you know, Knight Errant on footage. Anywho, I could talk about that as well because that does tie into this, indirectly. But yeah, for any number of reasons, it could be the case. Now, at this end, and on top of that, even if you say, well, they can just talk about, like, you know, why they can't do it. Sometimes they can't. I know I couldn't when I was doing certain things, so yeah, who knows what the reason may be. So that said, that doesn't mean your criticisms or anyone's criticisms are unfounded. When when players ask for certain things here and there, you can't just blow people off. Like, no matter who you are, whether you're a marketer or you're someone marketing the game, publishing the game, developing the game, if you're making the music for the game and someone asks you a music question or X question about X part of the game, you can't just blow people off. Not saying that the developer of World of Warcraft is doing that. They're far more communicative than certain devs I know. So yeah. Also, rip no prep attack. I will get to do so. Not even. I need 7 knowledge. I could cast Ghostly Spear. Is it worth it at this point? I've already lost this much health. And I want to take... I'm planning to take Scissors. Oh, decisions. This is also because I'm on a Thotu, and I should have maybe popped the Inspiring Novel, but I'm this close to doing Desperate Action now. This is something that I've also just... I think that's just a me thing, because some people don't do Desperate Action. They get out with 4 Stamina or 4 or 5 Reason, but... I mean, I choose to do so because I usually say, well, if I'm going to cast a spell or something, I might as well just do Desperate Action instead. That way it's available. Well, because it's available to you every time. And casting a spell like Ghostly Spear, well, you do have a lot of uses of it. If you don't want to lose more damage, or if you don't want to lose more uses in the future that may be more important to use them for, then that's why I usually choose to hang back on Desperate Action. That said, the same is true in reverse. I'm not saying that my way is right. I'm just saying I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so I wanted a change of clothes. So I could take Scissors now. 6 Stamina into Flood. I might be able to do it. Panic, on the other hand, let's not deal with that. Again, I'm more willing to forget Ayaka's or forget curses as Ayaka because because of how the calculations are different. Granted, if you don't forget any curses, you do win out in number-wise at some point. I can't remember the exact number. We're on Timeline A, by the way, Fishing Square. But, oh yeah, you can't store that. Where am I going? I guess I should use it here, if nothing else. I think I can break a threshold. We'll see. I would like 7 knowledge, so actually getting... I forgot which one, but if I can increase my stats with curses, well, there we go. Hallucinations on top of that. So another stack of hallucinations or 2 paranoias. So I have 6 more curses that I'm going to get in the course of this run. So someone can calculate the chance of me getting either hallucinations, or calculate the chances of me getting hallucinations and or, I guess, yeah, and or 2 stacks of flashback. Wait, am I confusing them? Yeah, I am. 2 stacks of hallucinations or one more flashback, which will end up killing me. But anyway, I feel like, is that random? Because I feel like it did 4 damage, right? It normally does 4. I guess that's why. Aren't I doing... Shouldn't I be doing... Okay, yeah, that's why I'm doing the damage I'm doing. Okay, never mind. Because I also popped the Inspiring Novel. Also, I took 3 reason damage for pretty much no reason there. I guess it's fine. Give me something. I guess Blood Mania is the closest thing I get. I could increase I guess I should increase knowledge. I'm gonna increase strength. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Especially if I get an action speed increase. Like, the other actions still need help. Yes, dodge is better. And by extension, indirectly, dodge is better because camera flash is a thing now, but... I mean, I'm not against incremental changes. It's just, when they don't appear fast enough, then you're just stuck with the game that's as is, so yeah. I should be able to kick my way out, right? I mean, not kick my way out, but do this, and then next turn, yeah. So, 8 damage kick. Why am I doing 8 damage? So, kick is base 2, Thotu 3, Inspiring Novel 5? Excuse me. Oh, and Blood Mania. Okay, never mind. I mean, this is kind of the I win button, but it's not at the same time, because I can die to events, which Blood Mania does not help me for. I would need Eldritch Possession. Why am I don't remember. I'm not a Ayaka main. I'll take the funds though, because I like cigarettes, and I believe I take less reason damage. Therefore, I'm willing to take more stamina damage. That sounds counterintuitive because I'm giving myself stamina damage by taking that option and losing stamina. But hey, anywho, can we do this? Oh, we can. So we get 18 yeah. Ayaka needs it though, otherwise the alternative is die. So I don't deny Ayaka's overpowered. In fact, she's not high tier in terms of like, again, in my tier list it's all about a vacuum of runs. She's around top 3. It's just for me she's not consistent, and that's that is somewhat subjective, which again sounds counterintuitive, or to use the word again, it's counterintuitive to how you make tier lists, because those are supposed to be objective. But at the same time, when I'm trying to figure whether or not I want to try to go for dexterity, it's actually still not impossible, and if I really wanted to, I could reach a level 5 or 6, but I don't know if I will. With 60% doom in going into my 3rd mystery, yeah. But wanted to say something. Oh yeah, tier list. So when people use a tier list, they usually, there's some, because it's kind of not disingenuous, but it is misleading to make a tier list. And even then, because the usual case of a tier list is to try to objectively say who's the best and who's not. And it really does also depend on the game. And in this case, for World of Horror, since RNG plays so much of a factor, subjective experience plays more a part. What I mean by that, again, is for those who don't know, on this channel, I like to not promote, but I do support the idea of that some people's RNG, because, again, you can't, even though theoretically I have a 70% chance of hitting these 3 attacks, and therefore, you know, if you look at these individually and so it's like, oh, so if it's like, say, 80, 80, 80, I guess I should timestamp this because I'm about to go on a technical rant, I guess you could call it, based on your opinion. But, yeah, if you look at this and you say, I have 80, 80, 80, and this is not my gripe, but anywho, I'll talk about it in a moment. But, if you look at this, say, 80, 80, 80, and you use this all the time, you might hit this, or you have a good chance of hitting it, because 80, 80, 80 is still like 50, a little above 50%. I want to say like 51 point something percent. Close enough, you to get what I mean. So, then yes, 50% of people will hit these 3 attacks like 3 times, and they'll use this gamble probably 2 to 3 times in a run, and they'll be fine. And even in like a vacuum of runs, they might hit it a lot of the time. They'll get mad when they miss, but it doesn't change the fact that most of the time they would hit a gamble like this, even if this does like 4 damage. Listen, if I could take 3 stamina damage and deal 12 damage 90% of the time, you know how short my Nuzlocke challenge would have been? On top of me not making human error mistakes, but that's again, you have to work out the details in this thing, and tier lists are included. I'll get back to tier lists, but I also talked about, really quickly, I wanted to talk about people who do strats like this, basically, especially with Aiko. Oh, actually, this is what Aiko can do. Also, you can do, if I get Blood Moon, I might do this, but again, though, for me, it's not the most stable thing. I could probably hit it here. If I choose not to, I probably would, and then, as you've seen in a recent video, when I do this, I don't kill the enemy, so, or I don't get what I want, which is actually needed to save a turn, and would save me damage, but, on that note, that's usually when people are talking about easier difficulties, so again, you have to smooth out these details, because when you see someone put forth an idea, or put forth their experience, or put forth, you know, this and this is good, or this and this is bad, sometimes they might be, you have to disassociate yourself from your experience for that moment, and try to figure out why they're saying that. Now, afterward, you can say things, that's why I bring in subjective experience, by saying, well, that's true for you, because they have to also abide by the same thing, you know, that's their experience, and so therefore you playing on, again, for me, it's, if I'm playing on Harbinger and someone's playing on Cultist, yeah, excuse me, we both have to acknowledge that we're working a different experience. Now, that doesn't mean we can't come together and try to agree on something, like, Ayaka's strong, and I don't think anyone's gonna really deny that. I wouldn't deny that. It's just that for me, Ayaka is still not consistent, because if you look at my curses, and I get like 2 more hallucinations or 1 more flashbacks, again, someone can go, well, what are the chances of you getting that? And then I proceed to die in at least at around 50% or more, I would say, on my Ayaka runs, because I just get like 3 stacks of brain damage and I die. So, yeah. And then, yeah, tier list specifically to run that back. That's why Ayaka is not as high on my tier list. In fact, if nothing else, no, I would still put Toshiaki above Aiko. Aiko it was pretty much right underneath them, like right underneath them, because she's just so, she's just so safe. She's safe for me, and she's very consistent, and every game mechanics that's changed has either directly or indirectly buffed Aiko, even though actually some changes are supposed to benefit other characters. What I mean by that is, even looking right now, I have, as I remind myself, Ghostly Spear, which more is supposed to directly, well, it buffs spells, but when you think of spells, you think of Kyrie. So you're like, oh, Kyrie is more workable now. At the same time, this means that you have to remember, this is why I bring up, when you bring up general mechanics, you have to think about all the characters too. So this buffs Aiko as well, indirectly, because, well, Aiko never needed to use spells, but she can also now use spells. So now Aiko has more avenues of success. Another change that buffed another character directly was Haru, who got vending machines on top of his own things, but that was his own thing. But vending machines in specific, yes, Haru can use vending machines now and spend less doom. But Aiko can also use vending machines and get cigarettes, or anything she wants, or get brick, and she's a dexterity character. So, again, things have to be more. So again, that's why the ally action I can kind of, well, I can try to think of. And if you're, I'll give you my thoughts on it. But when you think of allies, you think of Mizuki. Same the way if you look at spells, you think of Kyrie, because they're kit. You can't deny it. Whether you want to say, anywho, that's a whole thing. This video would take too long, but. When you think of ally attack, you think of Mizuki, and so you're like, wow, this means Mizuki's better, and actually the ally attack to me is not as great as it seems. It's nice to do if you want to actually, no, that makes no sense, because if you're not going to use if you're using the action to try and challenge yourself, that's kind of supporting the fact that it's not as good as it should be. And, but to get my thoughts on it, so ally attack, the whole thing about that is that if the more allies you have, the more damage it does and the better it is. And so Mizuki, and yeah, it's like a 120-105 action. I can't remember because it's so bad. Sorry. But Mizuki has fame, which increases, so it's supposed to synergize with the ally action. Unfortunately, it's not the most accurate, especially against enemies with even 10 power. You have to roll on it. But again, here's why I come back to, I can tie this back into people who like to do this. Your ally attack, if you have Mizuki, you probably, as a Mizuki main, most Mizuki mains I see when they're talking about Mizuki, they're like, I have like 3 or 4 allies, especially from the schoolyard, so therefore their damage would be up to 6 or 8. It's actually up to 6 or 8 as well. I don't really mind that as much, but maybe that's just my luck if other people are not lucky on it. But that's what I mean, though. There's too much RNG involved with ally attack, I guess. But for me, it's the accuracy. For some people, it's the damage. Because, again, you're not guaranteed 8 damage. You could do 1 damage, as someone reported. And the developer directly stated that that's not a bug, and that I'd see where that's from. And so, again, I see where the design is. Ally attack, you know, for Mizuki, it helps more because she can grab fame. Or, she can grab fame, but it doesn't scale off anything. It doesn't even scale off charisma. Its accuracy is absolute hot garbo, no matter what difficulty you're on, because enemies can have certain power levels, and the damage is not reliable. Some maybe, but again, that's my experience with it. And at the same time, though, Aiko also has access to ally attack, so if she happens to pick up 3 allies, she could, but unfortunately, since if the action were good, then yes, Mizuki would use it more, but that means Aiko can also use it more. You get what I mean? So, yeah, and anyone, it's not just the developer, it's not just fans, like, when you listen to things or say things about changes in game, you have to think about, again, more than just your subjective experience. Although not invalid, though your subjective experience is valid, and that applies to me too, so maybe I'm a hypocrite here and there, but when I'm brought forth things and I think about them, I try to think about them in a vacuum as well, because that's how I look at World of Horror changes anyway. And even if you're like, well, you're just being hot and sweaty and meta with World of Horror, you can't deny that indirectly that the balance of a game does affect whether people will have fun with the game, because if something is too hard or something is too easy, people will treat the game a different way, and that will determine whether or not people stay in or out. In any case, though, I do think World of Horror is in a good place. Not even okay. It's actually in a good or great place. Now, could it be touched up here and there to be better or not? We'll see. If you want to, if it does have its audience, I guess or a good in terms of quantity. I think there's a lot. Anywho. Let's get back to Ayaka Run. That's enough for that for now. Wow, I probably went on for like 8 minutes. Anywho. But, let's see here. So, I think I'm just gonna take the guarantee here. Because I've played with RNG enough. Even though there's no stakes here. Blah. Blah. And if I said anything that's not... Yeah, again, I'm happy to discuss things, but, man, my mind is changed. Because, again, I recognize that I'm not the most... I'm not the most... as a debater or someone who's trying to teach someone, I'm not the best, but I do have my experience. And I like to think I'm not exactly, you know, going insane when I'm talking about things out of my... And I'm out of my mind, but... Anywho, let's get this theologist, by the way. Something went in... Oh, the research notes. I don't need those. I also don't need the Tome of Rot. No, because, yeah, funny enough, I don't need these because Blood Mania has boosted my damage so much that taking these investigations may actually hurt me more than, resting here and just taking the boss as is. Because I look at it percentage-wise, so what are these two researchers going to get me? I know I'm on Knight Errant, but I'll take, well, actually I shouldn't maybe. We'll see. Because I can also visit the monument twice. Actually, let's do that now. Sorry, give me 30 seconds, because this matters too. This is whether I live or die. So the monument, let's just say it takes 5 stamina away for 6 doom. So, yeah, Knight Errant increases my doom by 6, but I can decrease it next mystery by, let's just say 5 stamina or 2 stamina, 3 reason. You get the point. But would I have taken more damage for decreasing stamina by 6 doom but spending it at the monument? Or would I have taken more damage trying to investigate those events and getting ending A? You see where I'm coming from here? And because I believe my RNG is really bad, I'm not willing to do that because I'm probably going to take more damage due to threat levels being high on Harbinger anyway. So, again, I hope I hope you see my point. Now, whether or not that's objective, again, you can run the numbers, but even if you run the numbers, again, the nature of RNG and mathematics, as I forgot to talk about this, but to remind people, yes, while something is maybe 80% and doing 80% twice is in your favor, there are going to be people who roll 20%, who are part of the 20% of 20%. 4% who just miss, and therefore, yes, it's a very small subset of people, but it will happen to someone. Now, is someone going to miss every single 90%? Probably not, but I wouldn't... It's because the chance is not 0, that means there's at least one person somewhere in the world who is capable of doing that. So, yeah. Anywho, since we're on a Thotu, we actually want to brace. I think we should be able to brace into a guaranteed attack. No, we cannot! Nice. Because this is also because of panic. This is because of panic, right? No, it's not. Well, my kick does 8 damage, so it's fine. Anywho, I guess it's a kick Ayaka run, but it's literally not, it's not because the kick action is good. It's because Ayaka's good. So, yeah, we'll gladly take this damage. Actually, no. I still want to do this. So, I can trade stamina as well. I probably should. So I'll remember to do that right before I defeat the boss. But again, calculating things and then also predicting what's going to happen, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future as well. You can look back in hindsight and decide, and hindsight does have its use, but anywho. Unfortunately, I would have to take a gamble. I guess I could. So this gamble, like, the chance of me missing 2 of these, right, is not... It has to be less than, like, 30%, right? It has to be. So that's... Well, I have to do this first, otherwise I might defeat it before I heal my reason, but... We'll trade off 4 stamina, because I have an empty bottle and stuff, so I'm trying to calculate my resources. And yes, haha, sweaty person, but I did miss one, though. That when the first attack misses, also, I call it punch action, because it says you punch them sometimes, so... I guess it would be more accurate to call it melee, but... Kick is 1 syllable, where punch is like a syllable and a half. That makes no sense, but I'm sorry to all the English majors and those working with semantics. Anywho... Do I have more Forest Mist? I did footage already. Anywho, we'll do this to prevent any Ayaka shenanigans, because I could die to another flashback. And we'll actually boost our strength because bracing allowed me to do that. Like, knowledge wasn't going to help me there, so what do you mean? Also, I have brain damage, so me carrying this heavy-duty flashlight is an oof, but anywho. Let's take this bath and heal more stamina, and then we will, I guess, use the thingy. Oh, we have more forest investigations. More forest investigations, never mind. Let's do mermaids now. We might as well. Holes in Stalker. I still need to use the monument. As for funds, okay. Now I don't need, with Blood Mania, I don't need these cigarettes. And I don't care. Never mind, I do care, kind of. Actually, no, this isn't bad, because funds are ultimately useless after you've done preparing, most of the time. Again, for me, it's more harmful because I like to pick up cigarettes sometimes, but that's me. And now we're kind of back on track. I would like an Ayaka perk, though. Actually, I didn't get an Ayaka perk, so that's my other gripe with Ayaka, mainly. But it's a me thing, so I understand that other people, when they level up, they always see an Ayaka perk, like 80% of the time. Me, however, all I got was what? Quick Thinking, Outdoorsman, and something else. I don't even remember, because those are the only two I would probably take. So we might miss them. Don't ask for funds, please. Okay, good. I will be losing more stamina, but my doom is steadily increasing. Also, I have a bottle of water. But anywho. So yeah, and it's because I'm more, not hardline, but I'm more, again, I'm willing more to tough things out. Again, that's not to say I'm willing to get slapped in the face, but, I do swing with the developer in terms of, some things that they've replied to where they're just like, deal with it. Things like, the main, the main example is botanist with no mermaids, and you're on Knight Errant. So people were complaining that you can't do ending A, and basically the response was you have to think about that as you go. Now, after a certain point, I agree you can't say that, but since again the game is not impossible, if you get something like that, it's like, yeah, I'll deal with it. Or if nothing else, I treat it as a challenge that I have to overcome. Unless it's just not overcomeable. Even if it was RNG, to some extent, again, too much RNG obviously turns people away. But if you can come up with a strategy and you die because it's RNG, you can still feel proud in that, like, hey, it was RNG. And I know some people are like that. They don't consider RNG a real test of skill. So, anywho. And there's a spectrum on that. Anywho. Can I just one-shot this person? I feel like I can. Yeah, I can. Hallelujah for Blood Mania. Really, it's Blood Mania. This is literally the... yes, her curses for stat. Also, let me do this as well. Doom Effigy or stats. Funny enough, maybe Doom Effigy? But stats, I guess, to prevent the immediate... Doom Effigy is not... Yeah, Doom is a threat, but dying immediately to 2 flashbacks or also 2 hallucinations is not great either, so... let's heal stamina, since my stats are about to shoot through the roof. So yeah, again, and I said it before, Ayaka was going to be a slow burn character. Her biggest threat is the early parts of your run, so we might as well brace while we can, unless we can absolutely demolish this guy. Unfortunately, I don't think we can, so I can try to handcuff him, but again, so here again, 70% in a row is kind of scary, but if you hit all 4, you can handcuff, but I'm not going to do that. We do have a branch to throw, but Ayaka shouldn't need to here, or I shouldn't need to here, so 1, 2, 3, nope, I don't get to do that. What do I get, though? Can I get a Prep Strong for something? It does almost the same damage. I mean, I think I can guarantee, yeah, so I should do this. I lose 2 stamina in the process, and I'll be losing 2 more with holes, I think. But I can do this and maybe arrest him unless I want to take a gamble. You know what? I was about to say. Again, I'm not the unluckiest person, but when you see a miss, you hold your breath, all right? And I did lose Bath, so maybe I should have just thrown the empty bottle branch, but that's in hindsight. So 72% Doom, by the way. And as I said, it's definitely possible for us to hit level 5. But I wasn't going to not increase strength, because I didn't know I was going to pick up Eldritch Possession. So yeah. And Doom Effigy is called Doom Effigy. I should have figured that, but... Anyway, we're gonna go to Witch's Tree now, and there's not really a lot of curses that would hurt me, so yeah. Yes, we have stacks of Paranoia and Stalker actually are harmful, but we don't have any big stacks of those, so we should be okay. And yes, theoretically, event-wise will be fun, but will be fine. But watch me fail a strength check. I almost failed that dexterity check, but that was more a fair one, so I don't really mind. Also, we have Ghostly Spear. I forgot. So realistically, at this point, if I see someone at this point, I'm going to be like, "There's no way you die." Most of the time, all right. So, yeah, we can't get rid of that. So, is there anything I'm gonna be? No. Empty bottle again, so really, well, I'll take that out, because empty bottle does more damage when thrown. We'll try, oh, so I think Fire Axe does more when thrown, never mind. I forgot I had that. I have a lot of things going for me. Again, there's no, I shouldn't die here. I have a lump of flesh as well. I should not die here. I may roll badly in events, and I will complain about RNG, but you know what, let's humor it. Yeah, you know, why do we care about stats? Why, oh, you fool! You had only 9 charisma. Why would you ever? You have, oh! That's right, Ayaka has 3 luck as well, though. So luck does not increase with that, so I guess I really need a Doom effigy. It's a bit late now. But also, boohoo, 5 dexterity. Although I wouldn't have passed it if I didn't have the Ayaka's perk, but again... Actually, I might die. I might die in this run. I might die. Why? The only time, you know... in another way, I didn't think about that, so... Yeah, you can just get luck checks and fail them. So, yes, I should have known that was a luck check. Anywho, we should be able to just one-shot this thing. Which is a prep attack. If I don't, I'm going crazy. Yeah, 17 HP. Yeah, literally of the events. The events are killing me. We'll trade reason. We need to trade reason. So, well, we actually also need to eat this lump of flesh, which should give me a curse. Yeah. And we'll move on. But we're in encounter lockout, so we have one more event left, or we can just get out. But Shiro-san here, unfortunately. So, if I could... Yeah, I can't lead him out, though, so we take... We're dead here, actually, because of Knight Errant. Yeah, we're dead here because of Knight Errant. Was there any way out? Beforehand? Because it's not like I failed a bunch of them. And let's just assume that I did, because I don't remember if I even failed, because I took the option where if I failed, I would have gotten Doom. But, yeah, I guess beforehand I should have gone for... Which ending A should I have gone for? I even did Mermaids. Wait, I had the Fire Axe! I had the Fire... No, that's not ending A anyway, so I would have died at the thing. Anywho. You know what? This video has gone on long enough. I said I was going to do more than... I was going to do at least 2 runs. Nah, I think this is pretty good for a run. But anywho. Well, if you know what I could have done differently, then you could let me know. Otherwise... Blah!